Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Cohen with Advanced Medical Center. There's no shortage of people that come into my office who are very interested in chiropractic care, but are worried and nervous and apprehensive about having their neck worked on. So I want to make sure that everybody gets a little sense of what's real and the significance of the whole neck manipulation adjustment issue, and to see if we can set some of the records straight on that. So to begin with, Hollywood makes it seem like all we have to do is just walk up to somebody and just go with the fingertips, and it just goes snap, and their necks will break and they'll die. But realize that's Hollywood. It's unbelievably difficult to break somebody's neck. If you wanted to, the odds are that you probably couldn't. It's not the thing where you can just blow hard in their face and then all of a sudden their neck breaks the way that Hollywood makes it seem. It actually does take very, very, very serious effort to try and harm somebody, and even then, if you had that effort to harm somebody and you tried to do it, you probably still find it to be a lot more difficult than you expected. Our bodies are very durable. That's why these football players can go out there and on a football field and put their head down and run headfirst into somebody as hard as they can and try and knock them down. And I know that's not the right way to tackle somebody, but nonetheless, it happens all the time, doesn't it? Especially in the younger age groups. And yet, they don't break their necks. This is why kids can fall off jungle gyms and they don't break their necks. If we just broke our neck with every little tiny thing that would happen to us, number one, you wouldn't be able to get a chiropractor to open up because there would be too much risk and too much danger, and they'd be getting sued too much. And then number two, there probably would be lawsuits against it. But the truth is, that's an unbelievably safe thing. How safe is it? I think one of the simplest and best ways to really discuss the safety of something is to look at what it costs to insure it. So in other words, if you're a crazy, scary, reckless driver that's running red lights and stop signs all the time and just going 90 miles an hour through 35 mile an hour zones, then you know that your insurance premiums go up. You get tickets. Those tickets cause points on your license. The points cause your insurance rates to go up because you're more likely to be in an accident and more likely to make an insurance company have to spend a lot of money on you. On the other hand, if you're a very safe driver and you have little to no risk of any accidents happening, then your insurance premiums stay pretty low. And you could use the same kind of analysis to look at how safe something is in the healthcare world. Because of course, in healthcare, we all have to buy malpractice insurance, right? So the average general practitioner, that's the average medical doctor that's going to see patients all throughout the day for everything from upset stomachs to colds and so on, they'll typically have a $1 million malpractice policy. And that $1 million malpractice policy will typically cost them on average about $30,000 per year. That's with a clean record and no previous lawsuits. They're going to spend about $30,000 a year. There are certain specialties that have much higher premiums than that. So for example, anesthesiologists have a pretty high malpractice premium. From what I've been told, it's about $100,000 a year to start with for those guys. Same with obstetricians, also right around $100,000 a year for an obstetrician. There's just a lot more risk in those sorts of things, or at least in the way that it's being done. But my malpractice insurance, I also have a $1 million malpractice insurance policy, just like those medical doctors that we just finished talking about. And that $1 million malpractice insurance policy only cost me about $1,200 a year. And that's after 15 years of practice. When I first got out of school, it was about $600 a year. It's always less expensive when you're first getting out of school because, of course, you haven't had any years and years of practice of somebody that might have come back and say, "You've hurt me." I think part of the theory is that when you're fresh out of school, all that knowledge is freshest in your head, and the teachers have done a really good job at worrying you about all the things that could possibly go wrong, and when you come out of school, you're really overcautious about all those kinds of things. So the insurance providers typically give the best rates to people fresh out of school, and the longer you've been in practice, the more time there's been that somebody might come back and say something bad happened. So even then, it's still only $1,200 a year. The car that I'm driving right now, it costs me more than $1,200 a year to insure. That's how safe chiropractic is. Safer than anything that's being done in any type of medical doctor's office. Safer than driving a car. It's an unbelievably safe thing. If you like this video, please share it or leave any comments below that you'd like. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.